Yo, what's going on, guys? It is time for another reaction video, and today is going to be the American reacts to this one is going to be American reacts to How Do Germans View Americans Berlin edition. So before I get into it, the last video I did, the Blackpink one, I was wearing some of my merch, and you see I'm wearing some of my merch again. If you want to help support my channel, you can go over to my merch store. Just go to themelvinshop.com. Also, I'll throw a card above. There'll be a link below, and it'll be on the end screen of this video. But if you want to have a peek at some of my merch, here's some of the stuff I have. Right now, I'm just displaying t-shirts, but everything's available in hoodies, masks, leggings, long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shirts, tank tops. There's a whole lot of different stuff, and if there's a piece of merch that is not in my shop and you think I should make, let me know, and if it's something I can put together, I will. But let's get on over to the video, because this is a long one. It's, well, not real long, but it's 12 minutes, and I know now that a 12-minute video is going to end up being like 20 minutes with all the commentary. So, oh, and this is from the Yafa show. Go ahead and go check out his channel. I'm going to subscribe right now. If you like this video, this one's also from 5 years ago, so keep that in mind while we're watching this one together, that some of the stuff might be a little bit dated at this point, and possibly some of the topics that are discussed in here could have changed since this video was released. So let's see.
We're in the great land of Germany, home of some of the greatest beers in the world. This great land has over 1,200 breweries and produces over 5,000 different brands of beer. The only thing colder than the beers are the producers themselves, the Germans. Or are these just stereotypes? When it comes to like stereotypes,
yeah,
what are the stereotypes that Germans have about Americans?
that they don't really know where Germany is.
They know little about the rest of the world.
And they don't care for anybody else in the world. Another stereotype is that they're not very interested in other countries and other regions of the world.
I will say, geography-wise, a lot of people don't know where other countries and things are, but it doesn't mean we don't have an interest. It just means that we haven't had the ability to travel to other countries. We're only connected to Canada, Central and South America, so it's a little easier to travel there, but to go across the ocean is a little bit more difficult, whereas all the European countries are all connected and on the same continent. So it's a little easier for you guys to visit other countries than it is for us, cost-wise as well. But yeah, let's get back to it. Sorry, I had to stop. The dog came in here and she's chewing on a little squeaker toy, so hopefully it doesn't make too much of a disturbance in the video.
Only care about their own country and their own states.
I don't think that they move that much as Europeans do.
Stereotype is that Americans are very fat, so because they eat a lot of fast food, they are fat, dumb people.
Oh, kind of dumb.
Your school system is not that good.
So we're all dumb. Interesting. Why does all the new technology, not all, but a lot of it, come from the US? A lot of the new ideas come from the US. I think there's dumb people equally across the whole world, not just one country specifically.
That's one stereotype I have.
Yeah, they're not maybe that, not really that, I wouldn't say educated, but like everything what goes like above the USA, the knowledge maybe, they're not that informed.
So when it comes to stereotypes, what are the stereotypes that Germans have about Americans?
Like that they're a bit too cheerful.
Very cheerful.
Like they're always exaggerating, and they're a bit kind of fake culture compared to ours.
I think Germans think that Americans are very superficial.
A little bit superficial. Friendly in face, but maybe don't mean it.
The additional, I think the Americans are always friendly, like, oh.
The whole, so this one always baffles me. I've done a few of these reaction videos. I don't understand the negative context around being friendly. Like, would you rather be around a bunch of grumpy, angry, you know, boring people, or would you rather be around somebody who's bubbly and cheery and friendly? I don't really get how that's like, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. And somebody else said something a minute ago that made me think of superficial. I think a large part of the US is very superficial, unfortunately, and I blame a lot of it personally on a lot of this garbage television, a lot of these quote unquote reality shows that are scripted, and all of these non-celebrities that are famous for being nothing but fake on TV, dictate a lot of how the culture is, the direction of a lot of the culture these days, especially with the younger crowd. That really believe that people live that way. And hang on, Daisy, stop chewing on that toy. You're making too much noise. Sorry. But yeah, I think, again, all this garbage television is what misleads people. And so it has created a lot more superficial ways of thinking than maybe there used to be. I mean, there's always probably been some superficial mindsets there, but I think it's gotten worse with everybody trying to live the Instagram life and everybody thinking that they're going to be the next reality star or something like that. I don't know. I don't like it either.
Doing? They're very friendly on the first meeting or so, and afterwards it's hard to get a real close friendship with them.
But not deeply friendly. It's only on the outside. Okay, it's a cliche.
I kind of disagree with that, to be honest. I think maybe there's a culture clash, and so maybe it comes across that way. But I have friends that I've had since grade school, since elementary. I have lifelong friends that I've known my entire life. I've got people that I met while traveling in other countries that I still communicate with via social media and however I can keep in touch with them. So I don't think that it's hard to get to know us any more so than it is to get to know anybody else if you put in the proper effort to create and build a strong friendship. That's just my thoughts.
That we have from of America.
So it's just like an outer layer of happiness.
Yeah. Yes, it's like always be friendly, but
they get to meet you one day and say, why don't you come by my place? And next day you stand in front of their doors and they don't expect you because they didn't actually mean it.
Like on the first contact, they're very open and talk to you. They're friendly, they invite you. But I think it's hard to get in real good friendship with them.
They act polite, but they think that you're a retard. But they won't show you. So, like, you feel like they like you, but actually they don't.
Again, I kind of disagree with that. Like if I tell people, hey, let's get together, let's do something, or let's meet somewhere, or hey, come over, I follow through and I want to spend time with people. And that kind of goes back to what I said a minute ago, how I've got friendships for decades. And I think friendships go two ways, so equal effort from both sides is required. Daisy, stop chewing on that toy. I'm so sorry, guys. If you can hear that in the background, I apologize.
Everything is going to be fine.
Americans are always, you know, the happy guys, smiley, and then not always truthful about what's really going on with them.
When it comes to stereotypes, what are the stereotypes that Germans have about Americans?
Yeah, they eat not very good food, I think. they don't live so healthy.
What kind of food?
Fatty food, stuff like that.
Oh, eating a lot.
Eating a lot?
Eating a lot and eating like very, very fat food.
They like their food.
What kind of food?
Burger.
Fatty foods.
Fatty food?
Yeah.
Like what kind of fatty foods?
Fries, burgers.
Always fries and hamburgers. I would say that American culture, we eat out a lot. I know I do, or at least before COVID. Not as much since COVID started, but the majority of my meals were out. And not everything's always that healthy, but not everything's terrible either. So you can eat out and still eat healthy. I think there's a misconception that because we have a lot of different fast food chains that that's all we eat, but we have equally as many, if not more, actual sit down restaurants. And I think there's been a big shift of people trying to be healthier. So we've got a lot of health option based food places now, way more than we ever did before. So I think it's shifting some. And again, this was from 2015, so it's been 6 years since this video came out. So yeah, there's been a bit of a shift since then. But there are definitely a lot of people who do absolutely live on nothing but fast food and probably eat burgers and fries every day. But I wouldn't say that's the makeup of the whole US.
You guys love burgers.
They eat hamburgers.
They like fast food.
I think fast food.
You know, McDonald's and stuff.
McDonald's.
They eat a lot of McDonald's.
They love McDonald's. They love burgers.
Every time I do these reactions, if they bring up McDonald's, I'm going to keep saying it over and over. I don't eat at McDonald's, like almost never. I could tell you that in probably the last 5 to 7 years, I've probably been to McDonald's fewer than 5 times. And if I did, it was probably for a breakfast sandwich or something like that. I don't eat the lunch there. I really don't eat anything from McDonald's. I just don't. I don't like it.
And they look like that.
They look like they like McDonald's too.
Yeah.
And the other type is they go always to McDonald's. They don't look at their lifestyle. They don't see what they are actually eating.
Yeah, pretty patriotisch, patriotic.
I think they're very patriotic.
Like very, very proud of the country, patriotic.
Very, very proud of the nation, I'd say.
Very like patriotic.
Very patriotic. Right.
Like having American colors everywhere. And
Exactly.
One type is very patriotic, and it's like having sports going on all the time. Very sportive people, whatever. Like really.
So where are some of the German stereotypes?
So yeah, I agree pretty much with that. Like, and I've covered this before. I think overall the consensus is that we are patriotic, and I think for the most part the majority of the country is patriotic. But that doesn't mean that every one of us wears that on our sleeve. We're not going around chanting America, 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 and everybody has a flag on their front yard or on their car or anything like that. I think the American flag very much is part of like culture. You know, I'm in Texas and I'm wearing a Texas shirt. Proud to be a Texan. So I don't think it's like a proud in the sense that like people think that America is like better than other countries. It's just that we're proud to be living in America and to have the freedoms that we have here, and the lifestyle that we're allowed to have here in America. And I think that's kind of what it is. It's kind of like a recognition or a thank you for the way that we're allowed to live. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
Stereotypes that like Germans have about Americans.
Like they all have a weapon under the pillow. They like weapons. They really like weapons.
Like guns and...
Guns, yeah, especially guns, firearms. Maybe racism a little bit.
A little bit of racism?
Yeah, I mean there are tensions between the races, yeah, no. You have a lot of problem with police brutality. And obviously with racism, kind of, but as a German to say something about this, it's kind of a hard thing. But yeah, racism seems to be a stereotypical problem for America too. Like a lot of black people get shot at from the police.
Where are the stereotypes that Germans have about Americans?
Kind of dumb and believing like everything is written and said in the media.
She brought up a good point. So there is racial tensions here, but I think the media is very much to blame for a lot of that racial tension, the sensationalism that they put behind it to get ratings. It's like, I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. I just think that they make it worse. It's almost like they're cheerleaders for it to continue to happen so that they have more stories to keep writing up. And they play the card that like they're trying to be genuine and sincere and to bring to light that racism exists and that something needs to be done about it, because it does. You know, it's out there. I'm not saying that everybody's racist. I'm not racist, but it does exist. But I do feel like the media blows it out of proportion and over amplifies it just to keep it going, so that they can keep making stories about it and they can keep getting advertising dollars to put out more stories, and it's just a vicious circle. Guns, like I said though, yeah, a lot of people here have guns. I own a gun. I don't carry a gun. It was given to me as a gift. I've only shot it once, and I've had it for probably almost a decade now, and I've only shot it once. So yeah, but there are some people who definitely love their guns. I know friends that have a massive collection of guns, but a lot of them too hunt. So it depends. It's not like everybody's just going around carrying a gun and people are just shooting each other in the streets for no reason. There's a lot of gang violence and stuff like that in some areas that does exist, but that's typically going to be the people who are carrying guns illegally. So there's a lot of stuff that you could say about all of this, but I don't want to get too deep into politics, and I don't want people to beat me up too much in the comments for my comments about this stuff.
Very typical example, I guess, is Donald Trump right now.
Recently it's like, Donald Trump, why do you want to have someone like Donald Trump?
If you see Donald Trump and you see that a person like that can be successful in politics right in the moment, is running for president and gets very good response, it's incredible. It's not to understand, okay? Yeah, so it's like very crazy. So it's hard to describe.
So what are some other stereotypes that you guys have about Americans?
They keep getting attacked by the flies.
Fuck you! Okay, carry on. Swearing a lot.
Swearing a lot.
Swearing a lot. But beeping out everything in public, so like on YouTube, on different YouTube channels, they're beeping out every single fuck. So beeping out everything but swearing a lot.
It's like TV.
It's like TV.
It's like TV.
You were in Vegas. You're only gambling.
I don't know about the Americans.
If your only exposure to come into the U.S. was in Vegas, that's not real life. That's like a theme park for adults.
You know, they see those sunglasses and they make, wow, sunglasses! I've never seen that before. Everything is spectacular.
What else do you mean by cheerful? Like, what are the things that they're cheerful about?
About anything, that's the problem. Like it doesn't need that there is something special happening. It's like when they found something on the floor or something. I like really normal things we wouldn't care that much about are reason. Like maybe it's a better way to live. I don't know, but for us it just looks a bit too weird or fake.
Tell really good things about them, so they want to show them like in a really good position and good light. Yeah.
And so when you're angry,
Yeah, there's a lot of people who boast and brag about things all the time. Yeah, I try to be pretty humble about things, and I don't really feel like I have much to necessarily brag about. But I definitely know what they're saying. I've come across so many people that like they just want to one up everybody on everything, and everything they do is so great, and they're better at everything than you are, and they have the best of everything. It just gets old. I don't care to be around that kind of atmosphere myself.
about something, you show that you're angry. But for Americans, it's like even when they are not, they want to look more positive, they want to look more cheerful and happy, and probably because the culture is like this, they are also more, like they're kind of forced to act like that.
And one big stereotype of American is anywhere in the world where is trouble, and the Americans are going to put their opinion on it, like North Korea.
Maybe they cause it from time to time, the trouble. So,
so they are the world police.
The world police.
So, and everywhere they have to
give opinion.
Yeah, give their opinion.
I think it's an interesting topic about being the world police, because I do think that sometimes we get involved in things that we don't have to necessarily get involved with, but then I also feel like there are a lot of issues that we do get involved with that if we hadn't gotten involved with, could have turned into something much worse or gotten a lot further than it did had we not put a stop to it. Is it our right or our job to do so? Not necessarily, but at the same time, if nobody else is going to step up and they're just going to let things happen, like the slaughter of an entire, race in one country, and nobody's going to step up and do anything about that, I think that's kind of ridiculous. And if that's bad for us to go in there and try to help, then let us be the bad guy by trying to help. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely agree that there's sometimes that we get involved with things that we don't need to be involved with either. So it's kind of hard to have a solid stance on it, because sometimes you might think you're doing the right thing, and you may not realize till later that maybe you shouldn't have been involved. But I don't know. That's enough about that. And I'm sorry, I'm doing a lot of commentary on this, and this video is gonna be really long, so I'm gonna let it keep rolling.
Cowboys believing on the Bible and so on, with not so much culture, and always the strongest is the best.
But I think the typical American people are shown about the sitcom of American Dad, you know, about the patriotism and stuff. There's no war, it's America.
All like Family Guy and American Dad, I guess.
Those are funny cartoons, but definitely not how we all live by any means.
So there's an extreme amount of patriotism,
but friendly.
Friendly. When it comes to stereotypes, what are the stereotypes that Germans have about Americans?
A lot of times they probably think they know how the world's running, how the world looks like. Probably a little bit arrogant, a little bit loud sometimes. What we think, like what the picture of the typical American is. Well, like, yeah, I mean, like driving a pickup truck, a Ram. Being like, oh, I'm American, and America's the greatest country in the world, and a little bit like that.
When it comes to stereotypes, what are some of the stereotypes Germans have about Americans?
They don't understand sarcasm.
Really? No?
Yes.
I haven't heard of that. Have you? I think
Germans about Americans, or no sarcasm.
What? We're loaded with sarcasm. I don't know where she's getting that from. I'm gonna pause real quick because I think this camera is about to die. So let me stop it and start it real quick.
I think it's just a little bit crazy, kind of.
More open-minded probably than Germans.
I would say we are thinking they are very, very polite.
Very positive, because there's this whole kind of idea about freedom and all of that.
They still believe in the big dream.
The American dream?
Yeah, the American dream. I would say more open.
They are really open on their lives.
So that they're really open when it comes to meeting people.
Well, generally very open. Yeah, I really like the openness. The like, it's easy to talk to Americans. It's friendly. You can get like in touch with them very quickly, very easily, very relaxed. Like Germans are like more tight, more afraid of getting in contact with people in America.
So I don't have any specific stereotypes of my own of Germans, but I do agree with what they're saying about Americans. I do feel like we are a culture that's pretty open, pretty easygoing, pretty friendly, and willing to talk to you about anything really. So I know it's gone when I've traveled to other countries. I've struck up a conversation with people, and it's just the same as if I'm out and about at a bar or something like that, and I happen to come across somebody from another country. I actually really enjoy talking to them because I like to pick their brain and learn more about their culture or their country, or find out if I was to go visit their country, where I should go, what places I should check out, what food should I have, you know, learn as much as I can, so I can make plans to go there. So
it's like easy to go.
When they see a camera, that it's suddenly camera start, they have a smile like this. They see a camera and they like start to make. And that they're a little fat.
Maybe obnoxiously loud.
And they say always, I like, with every sentence they say. It's like this and shit, and you know, when it was like this 2 years ago, like, kind of like this. Yeah.
There's this middle class white American girl on college like. And I'm like, okay, what is it?
He says like, and then he says like, and I'm like. So he just did it himself. That's kind of funny.
You know, you're saying all about, you know, besides like.
And some believe that Hitler is still our leader. That's no joke.
Seriously, some people think, you know, it's kind of appropriate or allowed to do, you know, the Hitler greeting in Germany. And I'm like, no, if you do this, you get killed, you know. People shame you right away, you know.
And you do the Hitler...
What's the Hitler thing?
Salute. I don't do this. I will get it.
Yeah, you know...
Yeah, if people are doing that, that's just ridiculous. Like, if people really think it's funny or something to do that, that's, wow, people are bold.
It's not funny and I will get arrested.
Yeah, and you get trouble if you do this in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's no, you get, you have to pay some money, or seriously, that's no joke.
You meet people when you travel around the world, you see, most of the time you can tell, oh, these are Americans. I don't know, it's like, it's...
So how can you tell?
By the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how can you tell, like when you're in a different country, you said, how can you tell that they're American?
Okay, it's their accent.
Yeah.
I always compared, like, you have a potato in your mouth and you try to speak English. It's like that. It's very funny. It's hot potato, you know.
I don't really get what he's trying to say.
Yeah, most of them, I don't know. They wear these sports stuff, like from basketball stuff, tricots. They're very tall guys.
So you can tell they're American because they have like Nike shirts and Adidas.
Yeah.
So the stereotypes are that Americans are big, but they wear like Nike shirts and.
I like that. Yeah. Perfect picture. Yeah, perfectly.
This dude looks like Jesus, man. That's hilarious.
I mean, I think about America, I thought Bruce Springsteen. Absolutely, Bruce Springsteen is a part of it, yeah.
Oh, I guess that was the end of it. It just ended like out of nowhere. All right, so that was a fun video. I always make sure I tell everybody that I don't take offense to anything that's said in these videos, and hopefully anything that I said didn't offend you. I'm just trying to speak from the top of my mind and reacting to these videos in real time. So I'm generally a pretty positive person. I like to try to pass positivity on to the people around me. So please don't be offended by anything I say in these videos. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Later.